All right, boys, we're back for part 2 of the Talaria Sting MX3 video. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
Just want to start this video off. I think I was a little bit harsh on the bike from the get-go. I was a little disappointed with the battery, and it's all right. It happens. The dealer I purchased the bike from was really gracious enough to actually unbox another one of the bikes he had and give me that battery, and got to send him the serial number of this bike so that way he can get the other battery replaced, and he's going to put that in with the other bike he has. But we'll go ahead and pop the battery. I'll show you. So this battery does work, pretty much fully charged still. Rode the bike tonight a little bit, and we'll see how many miles she has on her now. Okay, so we're in the menu now. Had to mess with it a little bit. I'm not really sure how I did it, but you can see we've got 7 miles on the bike. Doesn't have a max speed, interesting. But I've hit 51 on it, which is better than the Sur-Ron by a decent little margin. So here you can change the wheel size. These are 19s. This is the gear ratio. I'm not really sure. I didn't change it. I'm not gonna change it. This is just where it was at. And the battery, you can see we have 1 cycle on it, and it's pretty much still fully charged. I think. And this is, yeah, so we're in American units. And yeah, that's pretty much all the data that you can see with it. Right there you can see the battery is 92%. So I was looking at it, I was curious what this is, the LE, and that is 1, 2, 3, or 4. That's the regeneration. I didn't realize this bike had regen, which is actually something pretty huge. I think the Sur-Ron does not have regen. I know the Segway X260 does, but yeah, having that regen there is super sick. And I also did take the liberty of popping this little cover off, and down in there is a connection plug that has a brown wire sticking out of it. I'm sure if you have one of these, you already know what I'm talking about. You cut that wire and it allows the bike to achieve its full performance. And yeah, like I said, I was able to hit 51 miles per hour. And that was down a hill with a tailwind. So it's really not terrible. I was cruising at like 48, 49 on just flat ground, which is more impressive than the stock Sur-Ron. I will say the stock Sur-Ron does like 45, 46 fully charged. So pretty impressed, honestly. And in my last video, the rear shock was super, super springy, and it had basically no valving in it. It felt like, at least. And I was able to adjust it. I believe I have it on its stiffest setting right now, at least on the rear. And it still feels a little bouncy. I honestly might upgrade that rear shock. But looking online, it looks like the shock is like $1,000 for the upgrade. So I'm gonna keep looking, see if I can find anything better. And the front shocks, they're honestly really nice. I didn't adjust them. They're very soft right now, but they're not springy at all, but I would like to stiffen them up some. All right, so let's do a little ride test. I've put like 7 or 8 miles on this thing. Rode it last night and a little bit this morning. I have not charged it up. Should be, let's see, 88% charged. Let's see that right there. 88% charged, so still pretty much fully charged. And we'll just go ride it around a little bit and talk about it. This thing is honestly, I'm honestly so impressed with the battery being fixed, everything working. This is way better than a Sur-Ron. I've had a Segway X260 in the past. I had one of those like 4 years ago, like pretty much when it first came out. And then I got a Sur-Ron Light BX that was pretty cool. They were both about the same, but this thing honestly is way better. So let's go ahead and check it out. And it's off rip, it's so much quieter than them. You know, they're quiet bikes, they're all electric, you know, it's freaking super quiet. But this thing is just way quieter, honestly, with the gearbox and everything that it has. But the reason I say this thing is better, because one, the look of it is better. This thing is just a more refined
updated bike. I think it looks a lot better. Pretty sure the battery is a little bit larger, and I think the motor has slightly more output. Because both of those bikes that I had before in the past, they would do about 46 down a hill. And this thing, I've gotten it up to 51, which is pretty cool. We'll see what it does on GPS. Like I said, it's only 88% charged, so it's not completely fully charged, but it still should have peak power output. But honestly, with the suspension adjusted, you know, like this thing rides so soft. You know, I don't anticipate riding it like a dirt bike, you know what I mean? This is really like a trail bike, you know, just cruise along and have a great time. You know, it's very flicky, you know, very nimble bike. Sorry, it is really windy today here in Florida, but and I got it in eco mode, so it's really docile in eco mode. I actually really enjoy riding it at a slower pace because it's just quiet and you still have all the fun. You know, this thing is so smooth, man. I just think it's it's just a more refined, updated X260. And I think, yeah, because I'm pretty sure most of the components are exactly the same. And I forgot to say, I have cut the brown wire on it. I don't know if I said that earlier, but it does have basically the governor is deleted now. So even in eco mode, this thing will do, there was like 22. And the brakes, oh dude, the brakes are so good on this thing. There are 4 piston brakes, which just seems like a little bit of overkill, but like this thing, honestly, it just rides so good, dude. You know, and you can get after it if you want to, especially, you know, even for a stock bike, this thing gets it. Here, I'll flick it over into sport mode real quick. All right, we're in sport. Yeah, the throttle is way more sensitive. Oh, and it's fast, dude, it's fast. Oh, and one thing I'm pretty sure this has over the Sur-Ron and the Segway is this thing has adjustable freaking regen on it. It's got regen, which is really nice. I don't know how well that works, but like you can feel it. You know what I mean? Especially when you change it. So like I'll accelerate real quick, and then I'll use no brakes. So just be regen. Here, winding down, this thing, it slows down. Like, that's no brakes at all. Wide open. No brakes, and it slows down on its own. It's so sick. We'll go ahead and put it back in eco mode. Yeah, eco mode to me is like perfect. It's not very snappy. Still 30 miles an hour is plenty fast, and it just has enough torque, dude. Here, I'll go into this ditch over here and I'll show you. So this is, I mean, it's hard to tell on camera, but this ditch is pretty steep. You know what I mean? It's a fairly steep ditch. This is about the steepest portion of it. And that was only like 15% throttle. I just climbed up it super slow. Here, I'll do it again and you can see, like, I'll do it quicker. Hopefully it won't flip on me. But just give it a little, you know what I mean? Just bang. That was full throttle in eco mode. It would definitely flip itself over in sport mode. It would just fly away. But yeah, dude, this thing is perfect little backyard machine. Or, you know, if you want to ride around some trails, stuff like that. Perfect. I'm going to cut the video now and I'm going to go ride over to one of the little trails and we'll go see how it does through a trail. All right, we're at this little trail area. Don't mind the sign. Don't know what language that's in. Yeah, there's a huge ditch right here. I wonder if it could climb it. That'd be like a hill climb, dude. That ditch is like super deep. We got some sand over here. Let's see what this thing does in eco mode. We'll leave it in eco. Oh yeah, this is some super soft sand. Whoa. So I almost fell off of it a couple times, but it does all right in the sand. Might not bring this to the beach with the tires that it has. I thought about driving it over to the beach to see what it would do, but that honestly seems a little dangerous. Yeah, this sand is very soft. This thing is not like this thing. I might have to drop tire pressure. I do have it pretty pumped up right now, mainly for street and stuff like that. Dude, the suspension is so good on this thing. Honestly, it's way better than I remember the Sur-Ron being. They're great bikes. All of them are great bikes. They're cool, you know. And I think the biggest factor for me is how quiet it is. You can, you know, because there's houses all around here, you know, and I could ride this at any time of day, and shoot, they'll probably hear me talking before they hear the bike, you know. Oh yeah. Man, this thing is so sick. And right now we are in eco mode. We're at 82% battery, so I've used about 10%. And I was getting on it with the in sport mode, and I rode over to that initial starting point, and that was about a mile and a half. We put 1 mile on it since I fired it up, and used about 10% battery, which kind of makes sense because last night it was saying like 88 or 89%. When I got done, and then this morning when I turned it on, it said 92%. So maybe that's like, maybe it balanced itself. I'm not really sure exactly why it would have gone up. But yeah, we'll flip it over and see. Yeah, dude, this thing, it gets after it so well. And that regen is honestly so helpful. It saves your brakes. Eco. Yeah, eco mode honestly is where it's at. You don't need to be going balls to the wall, especially if you ride it more like a freaking bicycle. You know, you treat it like kind of like a high performance mountain bike. That's really what it is. I want to say there's a trail over here too. We're gonna check out. At least I thought there was a trail. Maybe there's not. Huh. I could have sworn there was a trail back here. Maybe it's the other way. Oh, is it this way? It might be this way. Nope, definitely not this way. I didn't know there was a little lake right here. That's funny. Interesting. There's definitely good chance that there's a alligator in there. Good chance. High probability of that. And there's a bunch of pepper trees everywhere. Oh shit. Let's see if we can, oh yeah, in eco mode, oh wow. Yeah, this thing's got just endless torque on it. I know there used to be a trail or something over there, but I'm wrong. Whatever. Back in this little side trail behind my neighbor's houses. It kicks up some dirt in sport mode. Oh yeah, dude, this thing rips. And that regen is so nice because when you're not on the gas and you're slowing down, you know, it's helping itself out some. Chill out in the sand. Some kind of huge bone right there. How did I not notice this coming back? Or coming here the first time? What the hell? Oh, it's okay. I thought it was some kind of like... That's interesting. Good. It's honestly not bad. Oh, whoa. Shouldn't have said shit. This thing is a ripper, dude. Definitely super impressed with this bike.
All right, so we're back home now, and it was a great little ride. Put a couple of miles on it. Did 3 miles, and we used up about 15% of the battery. And I did quite a bit of it in sport mode and in eco mode as well. This thing is fantastic, dude. Seriously, Talaria, definitely better than the Sur-Ron, hands down. All day, way better. Better riding bike, better looking bike. And it's just, you know, it's just more updated Sur-Ron. That's pretty much all it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and if you did, please leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.